Hello and welcome to another Final Fantasy XIV Glamour video with me, Meoni. A lot of people have asked recently, do more male glamours, Meoni? So starting now, we actually are. The Baron Helm. Something which is a chip on my shoulder for sure. This is from the Heavensward Collector's Edition, and one of the most iconic items made into the game from Final Fantasy IV. Undieable, and frankly irritating to get to go with a set. This then is my challenge for the week. I asked two of my friends and FC members to come up with something to go with this helm, pretty much anything at all, and show me their best fashionista skills, or lack thereof. They both came up with two variants each, so here then is what they both came up with. On the left here we have Zarathiel. If you like his gear better, then you can put an X in the comment section. On the right here we have Dano's gear. If you like his best, throw a D in the comment section. Firstly, let's look at the left gear set, which is all dyed where possible jet black dye. Comprised of that Baron Helm, obviously, we have the Anemos Abyss Cuirass for the chosen chest piece. This is obtained with 150 Anemos crystals and is the first step on the path to Eurekan Dark Knight gear. It's no surprise that Zarathiel chose this chest. It's a very popular look and is probably one of the best artifact sets in the entire game. For the gloves, Zara chose the Diamond Gloves of Fending. These are the Sigmascape Savage Gloves, using 6 of those Sigmascape Datalog 2s to acquire this in Ralga's Reach. The Diamond set in general is quite well received by the community as one of the nicest tanking sets in its full form. The hands, however, are pretty good, but on their own perhaps look a little bit basic here. The legs he went with are the Hemiskin Brias of Fending, a master level work of 4-star difficulty level 60 recipe. This is actually an interesting choice with the long draped front there, and you see this quite often in tank gear, especially in the Heavensward part. It's usually tight metal greaves or draped cloth down the front like this, which is a very sort of Roman look quite usually. It does, however, complement the chest in some regard quite well, although I'm not sure about the dye. And the boots are the augmented Hellfire Sabatons of Fending. You can get the unaugmented version of these from 245 Poetics in Idleshire, and then you can upgrade them with more Poetics and buy an Illuminati Taut Gobtwine, which makes these ultimately dyeable. They are maybe the weakest element of the set in my opinion. And finally, the chosen sword, since both challengers here went with the Dark Knight as their chosen job to display the Baron Helm, is the Edge of the Fiend, the glowing crafted Sephiroth Dark Knight sword, which is easily one of the coolest looking swords in the game, but I'm not sure it actually goes with this set. The set does complement the helm in many ways when you look at it from a distance. The dyes perhaps don't quite match the Baron Helm, which I feel lets it down just a little, but that's unfortunately the main reason I personally found it difficult to come up with something to use with it in the first place, and actually spurred on this challenge. The cloth from those legs is perhaps too dark, and I think seems out of place with the rest of this set. The choice of weapon is absolutely great, but I do think something gold and black for armor would better suit that theme, and perhaps it didn't suit the Baron Helm. Perhaps it might not be dark enough looking to fit with this theme, but it's not a bad first attempt though, is it? Conversely, Dano came up with this for his first attempt. With that Baron Helm equipped, he chose the Lynx Liege Cuirass dyed current purple. The Lynx Liege Cuirass is PvP gear from the Wolves' Den, costing 1000 wolf marks. The colours of this set, dyed current purple, actually play off the not quite jet black helm. The Baron Helm has this weird dye set where it's actually a mix of purple and sort of like soot black, I think. So finding something equally in the middle is very difficult to pull off. However, I do think this chest actually does manage it. The purple dye affects a moderate portion of the chest piece's metal texture, but leaves enough of this other undyed palette to look fairly seamless from a distance to the helm, and helps it flow. For the gloves, he actually chose the Doman Steel Gauntlets of Fending, and these are a level 66 armor craft or purchase from the Stormblood vendors in various areas, including Kagane. Also, these are dyed current purple, and now I feel that it was just a case of blending the rest of this set to that chest piece. It's clear to me that Dano actually worked from top to bottom on the chest to go with that helm first, and then pretty much everything else fell into place one by one, and all he needed to do was dye it the same color. For the legs, Dano chose the antiquated Abyss Flanchard. This is the level 70 Dark Knight job quest legs. These are undyeable, but actually fit quite well with the set, with what little you can see of them. And the boots here, he chose the Replica Heavy Allagan Flanchard, which is a Master Armorer 4 2-star difficulty level 60 recipe. These are actually dyed current purple as well. And to wrap all of this up, he went with the Hyperconductive Knot Hoon, which is an early stage of the Heavensward Dark Knight relic weapon, which is just stunning. A very nice set then, and I think on his first attempt, Dano probably got the edge here, pun fully intended. Both sets are absolutely great if you compare them, but this was only the first attempt. This was within an hour or so of me actually mentioning this challenge. I gave them then a couple of days to come up with a final version of their sets to see if they could work out any kinks. So here then is the second part and finality of this challenge. Seraphiel on the left here went with the Azuran Haraate of Fending, which is the upgraded version of the Centurio Seal chest piece for tanks. This is dyed current purple. He learnt then from the previous attempts that current purple works a little bit better than the jet black he went with before for this Baron Helm, and I think the chest piece now works quite a bit better indeed. For the hands, he chose the Lynxliege Gauntlets of Fending, which is PvP gear for 500 wolf marks at the Wolf's Den Pier. If you want to go and grab those, these are dyed more current purple. They work quite perfectly with the chest piece and flow nicely. The legs are the Aka Oni Tsutsu Hakama, which are from the Wolf's Den Pier for 3000 wolf marks again for PvP, and these I think are perhaps, in my opinion, the weakest point of his glamour choice here. Perhaps I would have personally preferred something more metal and bulky to suit that chest, but they are dyed current purple again. And the boots are the Alliance Boots of Fending, which are a drop inside the Stormblood dungeon, the Gimlet Dark, dyed, you guessed it, current purple. The sword then to finish his attempt off here was the frankly stunning Elios, acquired from the Hades Extreme Trial directly, or saving 10 of the Hades Extreme Trial totems for clearing it and exchanging them in Yulmore for that weapon. It's an incredible looking glowy weapon, and I need to go and collect those myself at some point, with this Dark Knight one being very high on my wish list. Pretty good then, I think, in terms of improvement from attempt 1 for Seraphiel, and I think he's done a fairly decent job here. And then that brings us to Dano's second attempt. Largely the same as the previous attempt in sort of style, much of Dano's equipment is very slight changes which actually make the biggest impact. We have the Lynxliege Cuirass again dyed current purple, and then a new pair of gloves. These are the Heavy Metal Gauntlets of Fending dyed current purple. The gloves are a 4-star difficulty level 60 Master Armorer 4 recipe, and they perhaps look a little bit more smooth in transition from the chest piece than his previous attempt. I'm still personally torn which I prefer. Perhaps the first attempt he came up with had a more bulky feel to the gloves than this, which I think I actually do prefer, as these in contrast seem to be sort of get lost in those thick arms from the chest, and they're not quite bulky enough to sort of flow with it. For the legs, he chose the Royal Seneschal's breeches from the original Little Ladies' Day event, and those are now on the Mog Station, which just sort of blend into the set and you can't really see them too much. And then we have the Heavy Metal Sabatons of Fending dyed current purple. These are a level 60 4-star difficulty Master Armorer 4 recipe. I think these boots are absolutely perfect for that chest. The silhouette of this set is much stronger looking with them, and I feel that they really complement the strong sort of Dark Knight Baron look, which I feel the previous boots, those Allagan Flanchard, were distracting away from, with that sort of slight yellow markings there were previously, where these are much more basic and just flow with the suit and outfit in general. Dano didn't choose to change his weapon, but honestly, why would you? That hyperconductive Nothoon Dark Knight Heavensward relic stage looking beautiful with its glow in the night sky there. All 4 of these sets are absolutely great, but it's clear to me by the second attempt that both Zara and Dano really tweaked their sets to favor different elements of the overall Glamour set, and you can see that changes in the boots or gloves, or in Zara's case the legs, which they had much more time to shop around for that second go. All in all, I must obviously thank both Dano and Zarathiel for taking part in this little challenge for you guys, but also I do hope that people found this interesting and got some inspiration to work with some of the sets in the game that perhaps we don't always use, including this Baron Helm. We would love to do more on the channel like this, and if you've got any recommendations, feel free to leave those in the comment section. And finally, I asked my Twitter followers a few days ago which one they preferred, and unanimously Dano on the right there won in that first round. But has that changed with this second iteration? Feel free to put an X for Zarathiel or D for Dano in the comment section, and you can decide who won. Thank you all kindly for watching once again, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you all next time.